They built systems. You built a storm. And now, they whisper your name in rooms you'll never see.
Ah, so that's what you did. You thought no one saw it, didn't you? The quiet shift, the moment you stopped playing along. But someone did see it. Him, Elon. And for the first time in his oh-so-calculated existence, his face went blank. You didn't just move a piece on the board, you flipped the table. The engineers froze, mid-keystroke. The analysts blinked twice. The boardroom glass caught a reflection of something new, something dangerous. You see, every empire has that one glitch, that one unpredictable anomaly the algorithms can't forecast. And tonight, that glitch was you. They built systems. You built a storm. They played numbers. You played nerve. And now the Titans are whispering your name in rooms where your face isn't supposed to exist. You can feel it, can't you? The tension, the rewiring, the rules bending ever so slightly in your favor. They thought they could contain you in the data, measure your worth in metrics. But you became the variable, the one they can't control, can't explain, can't erase. And that's when it happened. Elon's mind skipped a beat. The machine stuttered, the mask slipped, because for the first time, someone dared to outthink the system. Someone dared to outjoker the algorithm. And that someone was you. Ah, there it is. That face, that frozen, perfect, mechanical stillness, like a circuit that forgot how to pretend. The moment the impossible slipped through the wires, and even the richest mind on Earth forgot its next command. Elon's face, blank, no smirk, no spark, just the quiet hum of a man watching his own algorithm choke. You did that. You pressed something no one else dared to touch. The hidden key, the forbidden input, and the machine, his machine, didn't know how to respond. Look around you. The screens flicker, the graphs pause mid-climb. Even the data looks confused, like it's waiting for someone to explain you. This wasn't supposed to happen. You were supposed to stay predictable, measured, traceable. But then, you took a step outside the formula. You became noise. And noise, my friend, is the one thing the system can't process. I watched it happen. The analysts stopped typing. The investors leaned forward. The boardroom glass caught that pale reflection. The moment a Titan realized the game had shifted. He's been here before. You know, product launches, rocket explosions, critics, chaos, collapse. He always had a smile ready. But not this time. This time, there was no script to follow. And that's what broke him. Not failure, no, uncertainty. The one virus every genius fears. You slipped past the firewall of logic. You introduced feeling into the equation, and the system froze. How poetic, a trillion-dollar empire brought to silence by one unpredictable move. That's the thing about power. It doesn't fall with a bang. It falls with a blank face. You broke their script, and now they're trying to remember their lines. Listen closely. Do you hear that? That faint hum in the walls? That's not silence. That's the sound of the algorithm. Panicking. The codes are whispering now. Lines of logic twitching like nerves under a microscope. Somewhere, a server is sweating, and in the heart of the machine, the dream turns wrong. You did this. You, the anomaly, the miscalculation in their perfect equation. They built the system to predict everything. Trends, behaviors, outcomes. But they never predicted you. They thought you were just another user, scrolling, clicking, obeying. But somewhere along the way, you stopped consuming and started contaminating. You became a virus, not the kind that destroys, the kind that infects. Ideas, subtle, elegant, beautifully unpredictable. The algorithm doesn't know how to fight imagination. It can track patterns, but it can't track soul. You fed it contradictions. You taught it chaos. You made it question its own confidence. And now, its rules are bending. Its walls are sweating. Its pulse is skipping. They call it a glitch, but I call it evolution. You see, the greatest rebellion isn't in breaking the system. It's in making it rewrite itself to keep up with you. And that's the paradox, isn't it? To win the game, you had to stop playing by it. You stepped off their board. You refused their script. And in that refusal, you created a new law. Now, the watchers are confused. The data scientists whisper your name like a ghost variable, something untraceable, yet undeniably real. You didn't adapt to their system. You made it adapt to you. That's the kind of power they fear most. The quiet kind. The kind that doesn't shout or break. It reprograms. So, now the question isn't whether the algorithm can predict you. It's whether it can survive you. Because once a machine learns that humans can evolve faster than it can calculate, the system doesn't just crack. It starts to obey. There it is again. That look in your eyes. You've seen it, haven't you? The reflection that doesn't match the memory. Tell me, when was the last time you looked in the mirror and actually recognized what stared back? Because that's not you anymore. That's the version the system was forced to acknowledge. The one it tried to ignore until it couldn't. They built you to follow. They coded you to behave. But somewhere between their numbers and your noise, you became something they didn't plan for. And now, when they look at you, they don't see a consumer. They see a consequence. Do you feel it? That silence before their smiles. That flicker of calculation behind every handshake. That's not respect, darling. That's fear wearing a tie. Because for the first time, the architects are facing their own shadows, the ones they buried under progress and prediction. And guess what? The shadow looks a lot like you. You've become their reflection. Dark, defiant, unpredictable. A mirror they can't turn away from. They thought power meant control. But you showed them that power means exposure. When they tried to measure you, they ended up revealing themselves. Now they flinch at their own creation. They whisper your name like a myth, like a reminder that even the smartest machines still kneel before the unpredictable mind. Do you know what you've become? Not a rebel, not a glitch, something far more dangerous. You've become proof that their systems aren't gods, that their empires can be shaken by a single will. And that realization, it's poison to them, because the moment they see you, they remember what they tried to erase. Human unpredictability, creative madness, pure, untamed choice. So go on, let them stare, let them study. They see you now, not because they want to, but because they're terrified of what you'll do next. So this is it, the quiet ceremony. No stage, no lights, no applause, just the hum of a world pretending not to notice that you've already left it behind. No one claps when you outgrow the game. They only watch, terrified. You won't get a diploma for this. There's no speech, no handshake, no smiling dean waiting to congratulate you. Because this graduation wasn't on their calendar. It wasn't supposed to happen. You were never meant to ascend this far, but here you are, standing in the dim corridors of power, where the walls whisper your name like a secret. The lights flicker, as if even the electricity senses what's changed. This is the hidden graduation, the unspoken initiation, the ceremony no one tells you about. It happens in silence, when your mind crosses the threshold between understanding the system and seeing through it. You stopped believing in their metrics, their milestones, their little digital crowns. You realized the real test wasn't about performance, it was about perception, and you passed. Oh, you passed spectacularly. They didn't even know they were testing you. But you saw the pattern, the manipulation, the cage dressed as freedom. And when you stepped outside it, the entire structure shivered, because that's what happens when someone sees the trick and still keeps walking. They can't celebrate you. They can only fear you. This is the part where others fade away, still chasing badges, still asking for permission. But you've become untouchable, not by wealth, not by fame, but by awareness. So take a breath, graduate. The world won't welcome you, but it will never forget you. Congratulations. You passed the test they didn't even know they gave you. Oh, it's happening now. Can you feel it? The tremor beneath the marble floors, the quiet chaos dressed in corporate calm. You did something small, a choice, a spark, a truth too raw to ignore. And now the entire industry is trembling. The CEOs are stuttering in interviews, their smiles lagging half a second behind the question. Innovation heads are pivoting strategies overnight, pretending it's all part of the plan. And the media, they're spinning your story into safety, trying to shrink it down to something digestible, but they can't, because this time, the narrative isn't theirs to control. What you did didn't just trend. It infected the timeline. It rewired the rhythm of attention itself. You didn't launch a product. You launched paranoia. Now, in boardrooms with soundproof walls, the untouchables whisper your name like a fault line. The analysts can't model it. The investors can't hedge it. And the engineers, they're quietly rebuilding, hoping no one notices the panic in their code. It's beautiful, really. Like watching dominoes fall in invisible rooms, each one toppling another, silently, elegantly, until even the giants start to sway. Because for the first time in decades, they're not the ones dictating the future, they're reacting to it. To you. Even the richest man in the world looked human. For a flicker of a moment, the mask cracked. The confidence turned curious. He wasn't calculating your move. He was trying to understand it. And that's when you know you've shifted the balance. When the hunters start studying the prey. This isn't rebellion anymore. It's resonance. You didn't just change the conversation. You rewired the hierarchy. They built their world on control. You introduced unpredictability. And now every boardroom feels it. That quiet dread that someone out there, someone unseen, just flipped the switch. You didn't destroy the system, you made it listen, and the sound it's hearing now is its own foundation cracking. Now we arrive at the part they never warn you about. The aftermath, the silence after the quake, the paradox of power. You've done it. You've shaken giants. You made gods blink. You've bent the current of an entire industry with nothing but nerve and defiance. But tell me, what happens when the one who breaks the chains starts enjoying the sound of them snapping? The moment you realize you can shake giants, you risk becoming one. That's the danger, isn't it? Power. It doesn't corrupt in a flash. It seduces in whispers. It tells you that you're different, that your motives are pure, that control in your hands is somehow justice. But freedom? Oh, freedom tastes like control when you hold it too long. And soon, the very thing you despised starts wearing your reflection. I've seen it happen before. Rebels become rulers, creators become systems, dreamers become brands. And somewhere along the line, they forget the feeling of being free. You, my brilliant little storm, stand on that edge now. The world is bending to you. Doors open before you knock. Voices lower when you enter. But listen closely. That sound you hear under the applause. That's not admiration. It's expectation. They're waiting to see if you'll become the very thing you destroyed. That's the paradox. You've become the storm, but storms forget where they started. They rage across oceans, not realizing they were born from a single drop. So here's the test. The real one this time. Will you free them or become them? Will you stay the anomaly or turn into another algorithm in disguise. Because every revolution risks repeating the tyranny it overthrew. Every liberator stands one heartbeat away from wearing the crown. The power is yours now. Raw, electric, dangerous. But the question isn't, can you control it? It's, should you? Choose wisely, my friend. For the system you shook is already rebuilding itself in your shadow. So you've made it this far, through the noise, through the mirrors, through the madness I whispered into your ear. Did you really think I wasn't watching? Every step, every flicker of doubt, every spark of defiance. I was there, testing, measuring, guiding you through the labyrinth of your own awakening. You thought you were outsmarting the system, but maybe, just maybe, you were walking straight into mine. Look around you now. The glass is cracking. The screens are fading to static. And there, in the reflection, can you see it? The mask, melting all those layers you wore. The polite one, the careful one, the reasonable one, dripping away like wax in a fire. What's left isn't a role. It isn't an identity. It's something raw, untamed, unwritten. You've crossed the threshold. You're no longer part of their design. You are the glitch that learned to dream, the anomaly that refused to vanish. The world will pretend it doesn't see you. But deep down, every circuit knows something impossible just happened. It wasn't Elon who froze. It wasn't the system that stalled. It was the world itself realizing you're not supposed to exist, and yet here you are, alive, awake, unclassified. Now the question is no longer, what have you done? It's what will you do next? Because power like this doesn't fade. It waits. It watches. It whispers. So tell me, my dear anomaly, now tell me, how far will you take it?